dangerous. However, after the storm goes
Hello, everyone.
very quickly. So
this
if you
is
could just
Tanya.
be patient and safe during the storm. After the storm, the weather looks pretty good this weekend.
I am getting ready to do a reading for all 12 signs with visions of past life.
Now, in San Antonio, I think you're going to be okay as of right now.
And I'm starting off with the earth sign.
Cold rain, but just rain. But if you go westbound on I-10 through the hill country toward Kerrville, you could be looking for ice on I-10.
Virgo is first, is up first.
And I-35, kind of that triangle area, okay? As far as temperatures go.
Holy Spirit.
Warm enough. I mean, it's cold by our standards, but warm enough where everything
Somebody
is
that needs to know this
that number, but you might be, especially if there's any elevation there,
will come across this video.
You might get down to around 35, 36, but you're going to warm up back then into the 40s. But different story for us now along I-20.
This is the past life that I have picked up
to Ruston or up into Arkansas.
on
the temperatures here are going to be below freezing. We're likely
for
going to see
Virgo.
some freezing rain, meaning it's going to fall from the clouds as rain. And then
give me some energy on
so that becomes the glaze
my Virgo.
And that happens for hour after hour after hour. You've got some really
past
good
life
accumulation. Next thing you know, you have tree branches that are coming down.
What do they need to know about their past life?
Now in Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, more than enough to be dangerous.
God, I ask you to bring those that need to hear this, to bring them, let them come across this video.
And with a little bit of freezing rain or snow at the tail end of this event, just be extra careful here in places like Tuscaloosa and Birmingham.
Knowing your past life,
and I-85. Another look at the view here at Pacific Palisades with the wild
in this life, you'll know, basically, you'll know what to do in this life to make it even better, for you to come out even stronger and not weaker. Okay.
Deep breath in.
Virgo, the cards that I have that came out is spiritual.
And my daughter told me about it. I take a lot of prescriptions. Relax, helps me keep up.
My neighbor showed me the
Traveler, gypsy, nomad. I don't know what nomad means. But a hunter, fisher, gatherer, and starseed. Okay.
That should be a thing. Find your fresh with the all new $6.99
okay, and some of you are of royalty.
Weird noises.
If your check engine light comes on tomorrow, the repair could easily cost thousands.
Okay.
But with Endurance, you could never pay
some
out of
of
pocket
you
for a costly repair again.
They covered a $14,000 engine replacement.
Virgos, some of you are starseed.
Who's going to pay for your next car repair? You or Endurance?
Call right now to get $300.
Some of you are stars, entertainers,
Asthma doesn't
and your spiritual life goes very, very deep.
You can't.
For some of you, in the past life, you was a traveler, a gypsy,
Tespire is an
a hunter,
for people 12 and over that treats your type of severe asthma. To help you prevent attacks,
a fisherman,
breathe better,
and relieve your asthma symptoms.
Maybe in this,
Inspire is not a
in
rescue medication. Serious
not
allergic
maybe
reactions may
in this
occur. Get
life,
help for swelling of your face, mouth, tongue, trouble breathing. Rash or eye allergy can happen. Don't stop asthma
you
treatments
may
without talking to your doctor.
have
Tell your doctor you have a
feelings
parasitic infection or your asthma worsens. Avoid live vaccines. Sore throat,
in this
joint
life,
pain may occur.
not
By helping control your
in
asthma,
this life.
Inspire lets you be you. Ask
Some
your
of
asthma
you
specialist
are
about Inspire
hunters
by name.
and fishermen.
Well, breaking right now, chaotic scenes in Los Angeles.
Some of
County.
you,
Look
like
at
I
this.
said,
This
some
is
of you are
unreal.
entertainers.
The Pacific Palisades fire is
That's
engulfing
where
the
the
hillsides
traveler
here,
come
neighborhoods
in.
shrouded in smoke, houses that have burned to the ground.
And some of you
People
all
grabbing
have
lines
the
as
gift
quickly as they can, shut down, waiting for the fire that has
gypsy.
exploded inside,
Something
driven by
about
dry conditions,
gypsy.
and winds that have been
You
gusting
may
upwards of
like,
80
you may
miles
like
per hour.
In some cases,
the
getting in, picking up a
gypsy,
stranger just to evacuate,
whatever the
get somewhere
gypsy does.
safely. This is some of the most
You
populated,
might like
picturesque
dressing
community,
like
landscape
something.
across Southern California, and unfortunately now it is burning. You know, Dr. Nab, we knew going into today that the risk for
in your
explosive
past
fires like this
life.
was high, but still,
You was
see it,
middle
you see it happening, you know
class,
things could only get worse.
comfortable.
In these situations, the fires
You
that
were
start
middle
can
class,
spread extremely
comfortable.
rapidly. So not only are we concerned about this particular fire
Didn't
spreading,
have much.
but if any other new fires start anywhere else in Southern California tonight and tomorrow, the spread risk is so high because the
Spirit
winds
God,
are
help
going to be
me
damaging in their own right,
with this
and
past
could
life
cause any new
reading.
fires to spread.
These
Very
past
rapid.
life
The
readings.
vegetation is very dry right
Um,
now. The wet season hasn't produced much for us, and so the fire season has extended pretty dramatic way tonight.
Yeah, and this
Some-
is an amped up Santa Ana wind. This is not your typical Santa Ana
Some
wind.
of
This is
you
a middle of winter,
drove
very
trains.
cold, very dense air that is rushing
Maybe
downslope from
that's
the
why
mountains,
you
powered by
like
an upper
trains
system that
in this
is powerful
lifetime.
enough that it will fuel Winter Storm Cora on its other side. So this is, you know, Santa Ana events we're used to, but this is just a little bit worse than usual.
Yeah, the fire sparked 10:30 local time.
You were a single
Just over
father.
7 hours ago, it has exploded.
That's what I heard,
inside.
a
You're
single
looking at some
father.
structures that are being burned. Dozens of homes already. Although, you know, again, getting
Possibly
updated
a
counts,
one.
it's a process because obviously Cal Fire, they're putting all their energy, all their resources into fighting these fires. Having challenges doing that though, Mike, because with
Into
these winds that
witchcraft.
strong, you can't necessarily use all your resources.
Good or
all to
bad.
attack and you know, whether it's fixed wings or helicopters.
And it's way too dangerous to put firefighters in the front lines of these to try to dig fire breaks,
Virgo.
fire breaks, or anything like that, because they can be overcome by the flames in an instant.
Right.
And so that would be an unwise thing to do. And so you have to be very strategic in moments like this. But at the same time, you're trying to protect homes and property and people. It's just an enormous task.
Yeah, it's something to do with Australia.
More people may be asked to evacuate. So if you are watching us from Southern California, have everything ready to go because as
And
we've
you
seen
were
and heard from folks
persecuted.
today, you have
Okay,
moments
all
to
right.
spare in some of these
Now.
scenarios. Like, I mean, it is go time. It is time.
This
to
is
act.
what
The
I'm
winds
getting.
will only get stronger. You can hear them in this video. That Palisades fire, again, located
Some
on the
of you-
northwest side of the city of Los Angeles.
In the past
That's why,
life,
you know, I
you
think
were
one
a
of the scariest things or the
royalty.
most
You are
unique
from
things about this kind of
royalty,
weather is you look at that
okay?
blue sky. It's just all about the
And
wind
what I'm
tide.
getting
Sure is,
is
the fire is happening there. Right
somebody
between Los Angeles, Santa Monica, and Malibu,
did
and some of
spell
the smoke
work
is blowing
on
from the
you.
Pacific Palisades neighborhood that's upslope. I mean, you can see this neighborhood if you're on the beach in Santa Monica, and the smoke is blowing very
I don't know what
rapidly
Australia
upslope.
has to do with
But
it.
there's more areas.
Maybe
that
you
could have a
you
new
were
fire
from
start.
Australia,
And this wind event that's going to last for another couple of days,
or
has the danger of
the
making what has
person went
happened with the
to
evacuation situation in the Pacific
Australia
Palisades,
to
could that play
have
out for somebody else. So
spell
know
work
what you're
done
going to do, what
on
you're gonna
you.
take with you if something happens overnight that you don't expect if a new fire starts somewhere else.
Maybe it was the single father.
People and pets and prescriptions and paper, and what that would mean is something important documents.
Right.
You know, insurance documents, wills.
Who
stuff
loved
like that.
trains.
Plastic, so
This
credit cards,
father was middle
ways
class.
to pay for things once you evacuate your home. These
Yeah.
are all important things to have.
And
This
then so many
father
times we
could
hear
have
from
been a
people about those
fisherman
pictures
too,
that are
or a
irreplaceable,
hunter.
that are priceless. So, you have those with those important documents, things like you mentioned, insurance policies, your passports, those things that would be more difficult or impossible to replace.
And these winds that'll be as strong as 100 miles an hour
probably
in the
had
but
you
going down slope into the
persecuted,
valleys, the Southland
persecuted.
valleys, as they're called in the Los Angeles area, 60, 70, 80
or
miles
or
an hour.
or
Those
or
winds could cause
or
damage to be life-threatening in their own right, even in the absence of a
may
fire.
So
I mean,
many
okay,
power
for
companies
some
preemptively shutting
that
off power so the
of
lines
you
aren't energized,
were
so
high
the
priests,
some power
high
lines could come down.
priestess,
In the high winds that
and
we have, it hits that dry tinder, it ignites
the
a fire.
single
So
father
maybe you haven't been directly affected
had
by the
you
fire, but you don't
persecuted.
have power tonight.
Right.
So we would encourage you, if you're operating a
This
generator tonight for power,
individual
make sure you're doing that
hunted
properly,
you down
only over top of a hard surface, hardscape surface, not over dry brush. because
and
you've got a
had you
combustible engine now that they're
persecuted.
using. So maybe it's on your driveway or sidewalk or your patio, and only outdoors should you operate that to avoid carbon monoxide poisoning.
And let those generators cool down before and unplug everything before you refuel, because
Right.
that whole process is a fire risk in and of itself.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about, unfortunately.
What
A
else
lot of,
do Virgo
moving
need
parts
to
and
know?
none of them really good here across Southern California. And then, we go from fire to cold. Of course, we talked about how this is helping
Okay,
to fuel winter
I'm
storm
also
cities
getting.
across the South. They're bracing for wintry impacts.
I'm also
Dr. Now, we
getting.
are here in Atlanta. Here
There
at the
may
Weather
have
Channel.
been
I've
a
heard from every
hunter
neighbor I've got here. Everybody
hunting
wonders what's going to happen. Dallas, another
for
city that
a single
it's not,
father.
rare to see snow. It's less common.
And both Dallas and Atlanta, as has historically
And
been the
he
case
was
in this event,
persecuted
you are in some ways
for
living on the edge,
witchcraft.
meaning the edge of which kind of precipitation are we going to get? Is it going to be freezing rain?
I'm
Is it gonna be
also
sleet?
getting
Will it change
that.
over to rain? Will you get snow at some point? It's really difficult to pinpoint who's going to get how much of which type of precipitation, but the risk is there, and that's what we've got to prepare for. The risk
I'm
of
really,
dangerous
really
wintry
getting that.
precipitation in the entire Dallas-Fort Worth area, and that goes northeastward, Little Rock, all the way to Memphis. and
This
Tupelo,
single
and
father
many of these areas likely to go to winter storm
or whoever
warning.
it was,
So plan to alter your travel and to not be
he
on the
may
roads
have
during the
worked
storm
on
because of that
trains.
risk of dangerous winter
He
weather.
was middle
And there is
class,
the
worked
same
on
weather system
trains.
on the northwestern side that is bringing down those strong northeasterly winds into the Los Angeles area and fueling all those fires and damaging winds. This same weather system is going to be moving eastward slowly over the next couple of days. So the end of the fire risk
He was
will
very
be the beginning of the
spiritual.
winter storm in a couple of days. And that surface low that's over the northwestern portions of Mexico will then find its way to northeastern Mexico and southern Texas.
He may
and
have
then
been
bring
native.
pressure over the cold air left in place behind Winter Storm Blair. So there's Wednesday night, Thursday morning. The wintry precipitation starting in Texas. Now Houston will get all rain out of this. It won't even go below freezing during this event. But there
Or
is
somebody,
Thursday and into Friday morning.
somebody
the storm
was
moving eastward. This is
hunted.
the same weather system that's near California right now, and there for the
Somebody
Atlantic,
was
the
hunted
risk of wintry precipitation starting on Friday
by
morning. So
someone.
first things first, in Texas, the moisture's coming up over the cold air.
This is
Coastal
underneath
Mexico, it's gonna
haunted
be all rain, it's gonna be
someone
too
who
cold.
had a
Then when
child.
that moisture gets over the cold air, if it gets over shallow cold air, we get freezing rain. A little bit deeper.
That
cold
was
air, we get
into
sleet,
witchcraft.
and then in the super deep cold air, we get all snow, and that's where we could see several inches of snow.
That
possibly
they
in the
thought
Dallas-Fort Worth
that
area,
was
up in the
into
Little Rock and up in
witchcraft.
northern
He
Mississippi.
may have
But
been a
then,
priest
in the
or a
hill
high
country and
priestess.
on the
I mean, he may
periphery,
have been
the
a high
snow, we could
priest.
get very heavy
Maybe
rain that is freezing
he
rain. And
was.
that could also occur
I
in northern
mean, he
Mississippi,
was
Alabama, Georgia,
persecuted.
including the Atlanta area, is at risk. So is much of South Carolina
And something
eastern
about
North Carolina. And then
Australia.
there's the snowfall
I don't know
footprint
what it
that's a
was.
pretty wide berth.
This
Except in
person
the GFS, it does have
may
the
have
heavier
been a native.
snowfall footprint.
He
with
was
a
middle
stronger low
class,
going farther to the north. A lot of uncertainties on how
spiritual.
strong the low will be when it gets to the East Coast. But Mike, with Wednesday night and Thursday morning, the event starting in Texas, a lot of people, a lot of big cities need
And
to take tonight and tomorrow to prepare.
Think
a
about a place
gypsy
like
maybe
Dallas
in another
particular. We are
lifetime. I
just
don't
a
know.
driving city, right? We've spread our wings
But
here across the landscape here. And
whoever
certainly,
it
the
was
area of
died
suburbs,
of
so
a
we have to
disease,
drive
had a
everywhere, and that's why
disease,
you have a
not
lot of
died.
here because we put a lot
He
on the
could
road
have.
in these kind of conditions. You're
He
just
or
asking for
she
trouble,
could have.
unfortunately. And so we'd advise you to, if you can, I know it's not possible for everyone, but if you can, see if you can make Thursday a work from home kind of day. I have a feeling that a lot of schools are going to be out as a result of the weather here, but if you can have that ability to work from home, this is going to be a really good day for you to do that.
Okay, this is more than one now.
When you go farther north, we've got ice in the hill country, snow.
Something about the Caribbean.
From Ardmore to Fort Smith to Little Rock to Memphis. There's the icy weather.
Maybe you all travel to Australia, travel to a Caribbean.
A rain event from Waco to Austin, San Antonio. Gets a little dicey between Waco and Dallas, then becomes all snow.
Some of you were tailors,
through Thursday afternoon, not north
shoemakers.
of Dallas, but south of Dallas, and warms up just a couple of degrees above freezing. Then as the temperature,
I might have to do this one at a time because I think this is going to take a while.
Or sleet and then snow. You'll end with snow in Dallas and a couple more inches on the way for you here.
Okay, this is what I'm seeing. Okay, some of you have a fascination of Greek civilization. Some of you have a fascination of the Caribbean. Some of you have a fascination for Australia.
Even in Dallas, if we're talking like 1 to 5 inches of snow, that's a big snow for us in Dallas, and then you get significantly less as you go farther south. That drops off pretty quickly. There's the ice between.
Some of you all were natives,
that area is
tailors,
doomed with ice. There could be some icy patches in and around Dallas and Fort Worth. Through the Arklatex, heavy ice accretion here. Arkansas,
gypsies,
Louisiana, ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch, Alex. That means travel is next to impossible. Power outages are likely. That could be a crippling snowstorm.
that were haunted.
Absolutely. And then we look farther to the east, more
down.
Ice, more snow, more wintry mix in the cars. Now, European model GFS
Because
model,
you were high priest,
similar
high
to the overall
priestess.
track, some differences in the how much
Into
and how
witchcraft.
far east and south it goes. European model keeps a place like Birmingham and Atlanta, Greenville, South Carolina, some of those big metros in the southeast.
Some of you died of a some of you died of a disease.
Parts of Tennessee, Memphis could see a ½ foot of snow. GFS model, you notice farther to the south with some of the
you
snow totals here.
maybe some of you are stars,
with more of those 5 to 8 inch totals,
professional stars
Tennessee, Western North
that
Carolina,
have
and
went through this
Virginia. So that
in the
mean
past
that
life.
cold air as deeper farther to the south, and then that freezing rain or wintry mix potential would be shunted farther south.
But you are of royalty,
of course, we've got our developing
rich
storm system. When we
bloodline.
look at this map, snow is blue, wintry mix is
But
purple.
again,
We've got the ice in pink, and then the green is rain. And we got all those colors.
there
the
were
southeast.
spell
Cold
work
air
done
remains
on you
locked in. So temps below freezing, what we've got now, we're going to keep through the end of the week.
because of your royalty.
This is the forecast. So you're like, well, wait a second. I thought you just
Some
said
of
Atlanta
you
could see
were
1 to 3 inches of snow. You could see
activists,
snow to freezing rain, even ending as rain,
activists,
depending on what happens with that cold air at the surface.
and have
We're
a
able to get some
fascination
warmer
of
air aloft.
Roman
We'll talk a little bit more about that in a
civilization.
second. So don't think that it's just snow.
So
or
that's
just
a
ice.
whole
Lot of these
lot
areas
of
could be
y'all.
looking at a mixed bag of precip moving forward.
But
parts of eastern Mississippi, areas east of I-55,
some of
could see some of the
you
more
died
significant ice
of
totals,
a
as will the
disease.
Midlands of South Carolina.
Some
Even
of
the
you
I-95 corridor of
were
North
middle
Carolina. Once
class
we get to that quarter to ½ inch,
and
it's
worked
not just
on
travel problems, but now
trains,
issues with tree
had
damage
a
and power
job
outages to speak of.
in
Absolutely. This
transportation.
is for some a blockbuster kind
Trains
of
may
specifically talk about Atlanta,
mainly
where you have snow accumulation in your forecast. Left-hand side of your screen there, roughly 1 inch to 3 inches in the northern suburbs here, and then you go up into
in this
the
life.
mountains. You're talking ½ a foot or
You
more.
are a
The
tailor,
screen on your right, though, might be
weaver,
the bigger
shoemaker.
concern. How much ice you'll see here across North Georgia and Atlanta Metro could get really dicey with roughly 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch
activists,
of ice accretion on the way for us. That
movement,
means roads will be slick, and the timing is such that
and you all
they
may
not be
have
there for your
been
Friday morning
persecuted
drive, but
in
they
this
certainly be
life.
there for Friday evening's drive, and it may actually start snowing or sleeting right after you get to work or the kids get to school. So the timing again is everything for us here. I want to break it down for you and show
In
you
the
our
past
exclusive
life, you may
3D
have
style. There's a three-dimensional look at the atmosphere and
hidden
what may be to come.
as
So
a
if you look
monk.
at the atmosphere here, Friday morning, 10 a.m. So
I'm
you're gonna
hearing
get up, you're gonna look out the window in the morning, and you're
possibly
gonna see
to save
nothing,
yourself.
because it's not snowing 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, or even 9 o'clock. It's probably gonna hold off until after the morning drive.
Some of you have fascination with Asia.
Situation in 2014. But if you look at the atmosphere, it's cold up above our heads, thousands of feet up. Temperatures are below freezing. Snow, 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 snow. So you get down to around 2,000 feet. Then it gets a little bit warmer, and that melts. But then, cold enough then at the surface where it's down below freezing again, everything down here then turns into ice pellets.
Angelic.
So this is all little tiny ice pellets that bounce. So this is
And this like you are
now I want to fast forward
like
from Friday
angelic.
afternoon to Friday drive time at 5 o'clock. Now it's cold still at the surface, but it's cold every little step of the way through the atmosphere. All of this is now snow.
Or
so now you get
and
snow on
or
top of
you
snow,
have
making things
angels
really, really tricky.
around
By
you.
Friday night, it's warmed up enough, especially well above our heads. We've got
The
a nice
gods
little
and
storm that's
goddesses
coming
in this
in.
life.
Everything is rain. Small deviations, though, can make a big difference. And watch for icing, especially where elevation changes pretty dramatically, which can happen in North Georgia and the upstate of South Carolina.
Anything else
Stay off the
Virgo
roads in
need to
Atlanta on
know?
Friday. Here's another live look at the fire in Pacific Palisades,
Oh,
west
okay.
of Los Angeles.
Some of you were butler, maid, servant. And in this life, it was karma lessons, karmic lessons. So
Happy Monday.
the lessons that you did not learn in your past life is the lessons that you need to learn now.
This sure helps. Classic bacon, shroom and Swiss.
Like I said, and I feel this, I really, really feel this.
This guy can't shoot.
In your past life,
On a mattress.
you were a single parent.
At the semi-annual sale and clearance, save up to
Whether
60% on top brands.
it's
Get
a
Match.com.
single mother or single father.
Dove Man Plus Care Whole Body Deo protects you everywhere. Here, when you're there. There.
You were accused of witchcraft.
Dove Man Whole Body Deo. Care.
You was a high priest, high
If your asthma
priestess.
rescue a dinosaur, Air Supra is the only asthma rescue inhaler.
And you
FDA
were
approved to
hunted
treat symptoms
down
and help prevent asthma attacks.
and
Air Supra should
persecuted.
not be used as a maintenance treatment for asthma. Get medical help right away if your breathing doesn't improve or worsens, or for serious allergic
You may
reactions,
have to hide yourself as a monk
or chest pain. Using Air Supra more than prescribed could be life-threatening. Serious side effects include increased risk of thrush or infections or heart problems like faster
or a monk
Ask your doctor if Air Supra is right for you.
You know, when I take the bike,
or a nun
stresses just melt away.
had this spell work done on you. However it goes, whatever your soul is telling you,
Dogs with human-like faces.
go with that.
Footprint, my daughter's JV hockey schedule.
The monk may have traveled, the religious person may have traveled these places.
I put that on everything. People love how the new homes
Maybe
quick answers about any property by connecting them to the
you all lived in these places.
Speaking of exposure, can we get him a hat?
Ooh, what about a beret?
Oh, ding dong.
Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Upset stomach? Ibirogast. Indigestion? Ibirogast.
Some of you
Bloating?
are star
Ibirogast.
seeds.
Thanks to a unique combination of herbs, Ibirogast helps release.
You are star
symptoms to help you
seeds.
feel better.
But some of you are professional entertainers
100-degree sweat test. Which one of these two anti-curse
that have went through this.
That's it. Take it up a notch. Looks like ordinary antiperspirants can't take the heat. Ordinary antiperspirants
You are very
can't fight better than
spiritual.
Secret Clinical.
The Weather Channel TV app has you covered all winter season. No one covers winter like the Weather Channel TV app.
And in your past life, you had a horrible disease. That was because somebody put that spell on you.
Yeah, we cook. We actually cook it.
They're the ones that was doing witchcraft.
Never frozen. Ever.
They're, no, Yeah, they're the ones that was doing the death wish
Yes,
on you.
every single day we prep everything in our store.
You were a high priest or high priestess.
Wow.
Looks pretty fresh.
What I say?
Fresh ingredients every day.
Some of you were celebrities in a past life. Some of you are celebrities now.
Yes! Oh, that was really good. Oreo, stay playful.
If your bath has seen a lot of
Starseed.
nobody gives it new life like Bath Fitter. Whatever shape your bath is in, Bath Fitter will transform it. When it's time to give your bath new life, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book a free consultation.
Currently in our area, 30
Africa.
degrees under clear skies.
Astronomy, astrology.
Tonight, partly cloudy early, followed by cloudy skies overnight.
Atlantis.
22, winds west-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Wednesday, cloudy early with partial sunshine in the afternoon.
I don't know
32,
what all
winds
these
west-northwest
places
at
have
10 to
to
20 miles
do.
per hour.
You could live in these
Wednesday,
places.
clear to partly cloudy.
You could have lived
winds
in these
west-northwest at 10 to
places.
15 miles per hour.
Some of you could have fascinations about these places, and you may travel there back and forth. You may have had to run to these places to get away from this hunter
These are the big cases that everyone is talking
that was hunting you down to persecute you.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on NBC6.
But you were eventually persecuted for the wrong thing, all because you were the high priest or high priestess.
If you have to
thinking that
as far off
you
the road
was
as you can so that emergency vehicles
doing
get by. The gist of moving
black
with
magic on them.
bulldozers was an emergency situation. You got to get those fire resources through.
On
They do what they have to do to be able to facilitate that. So we're asking really for the cooperation and think a couple of steps ahead.
You may
It's not
have
just your vehicle
had
there, but then others line up behind you as well as they see what you're
a
doing.
disease.
And so I can't stress enough. Please swallow the
and
evacuation
died from
orders.
that
Do your
disease.
best to be able to get out to safety.
Or
bring the equipment you will need for the next couple of days with you, because
this
as you've heard over and
hunter
over again, this is not going to end very quickly.
had somebody
Talking about
that
evacuations in the Pacific
died
Coast
from a
area where people were
disease.
evacuating.
Maybe they came
got
to
caught up
you
in traffic or whatever it may
for
be, or
help.
an impassable road that had some debris in it, and they literally got out of the vehicles and ran
Maybe
for
to
safety,
heal
abandoning their vehicle on the
someone.
road. Then that left traffic jams in the road of abandoned cars. They were literally using bulldozers, as he was explaining there, to literally push vehicles off the
Or
road so
came
fire
to
trucks
you
could get through. So it's really
for
urging
you
everyone to not abandon your vehicle.
to work a
and if you do,
disease, some kind of death magic on someone.
Yeah, these streets are narrow. We've heard that from reporters on the scene, from folks we've talked to.
Either or, whatever your soul is telling you.
Hillsides or mountainsides,
Okay?
these areas that are so beautiful to live in.
This is just to
can then
confirm
provide challenges when you need to evacuate quickly or
that
bring some of these larger vehicles like fire trucks in. But
this
these
is
live
what
views,
happened
you know, fire terrifying
in
during
your
the day,
past
but at
life.
night, where you can really see the embers that we're talking about.
You
and
were
how rapidly and in
persecuted
cases erratically they're blowing. So it's not even necessarily, you know, you get
because
a fire starting, you know, in the direction you think. You can see these embers are scattered across the ground. And so the threat, the fear is that more fires could start overnight and into the morning. So
they thought that you put a disease on someone.
Directive to move and leave.
So you have your, I know a lot of people will keep their, like a Rubbermaid container, like right by the door.
You work
so
some
you can
kind
grab
of
it, you
magic
put it in your
witchcraft
trunk, and you
on
can slip
someone.
as fast as possible, right? But it's kind of a hellish landscape that's taking place there. And you think about how densely packed some of these neighborhoods are. This is a high population area, right? And so you think about how many
Or
homes,
maybe this father died from a disease.
Dozens or who knows, hundreds of homes.
You was
that
the
have died
only
in flames.
child.
Yeah, we talked to somebody who said, I think this neighborhood or this, you know, residential
You
area as a
wasn't.
whole has thousands of homes in it. So
I
you
don't
mentioned,
see where
think of
he
those
was
things right now.
married.
Too many times we talk to people in
This
the
man
aftermath of
was
fires and say,
married.
I lost this really
Or
important
what?
picture to me. Grab that now. Again,
Let me
find
see if
the,
I
the
could
caps
get
that
some
sometimes
more.
can be harder to find in cases where
A
you're in a
few
rush.
more
Find them
out
now.
of here.
Make sure they are either in a room or in their carrier. The pet, your dog has its collar on, leash ready to go. Important papers, passports, legal documents, all that stuff that would be difficult or impossible to replace.
That view right there shows you just how difficult the terrain is. It's next to impossible for firefighters to get on the front lines.
Okay, Virgo, that's the end of your
Using their
reading.
strategy in situations like this is to go into
That's the end of your
that would be
reading.
downstream of the fire and try to protect those
But
homes. They're not trying to put a fire
in
line
your
on this.
past
They can't
life,
put fire retardant on it or water drops necessarily in these kind of winds. It's too dangerous for the pilots to be up there.
Absolutely is. And we look at the top wind reports.
if your
right now.
soul
This
is
of now.
telling
Magic
you
Mountain,
this,
86
you
mile per
were
hour. We've
hunted
got Mount Lucan's at 78. We've got Limerick Lime Kiln
down.
Ridge, 70-mile-an-hour gusts, or Lime Kiln Ridge. These are all
You
areas that could see even stronger gusts overnight.
are a high priest or high priestess. You were hunted down
Pacific Coast Highway and is all the way down
because
that fire you can see from the visible satellite, and this is
it was claimed that you did
have any more new images,
witchcraft
but you can see how intense that smoke plume was from this fire
and caused the disease
and how many things it is unfortunately
to
scorched.
someone.
Trees, homes, you name it.
The verbiage was strong from the National
Some
Weather
of you
Service. That has
are
come to fruition.
celebrities. You was a celebrity in your past life.
And unfortunately, structures are burning. We've talked to people who have said, yeah, I've heard from friends whose homes have been
You
engulfed in
are
flames,
a
who don't
royalty
exist anymore.
rich
And,
bloodline.
that's why it's so important. If you are told to go, you've got to go. These fires are moving very, very fast.
Yeah, the moment that evacuation order is issued, you have to go. Or maybe you're just worried about your current location. Is it a terrible idea,
So,
to just go ahead and leave on your
the
own?
karmic lesson.
Location where you may go, whether it be a friend, family member, hotel, whatever they may be. Some of those images even show how quickly the winds are blowing and the flames are creating embers that
I
are
don't
flying,
know
and so that's creating
the
potentially
karmic
fires.
Too many
lessons.
times we look at videos of
Your
people
the karmic
evacuating. Now, again, it is
lessons.
difficult, if not impossible, to
Okay,
see,
by you going
alone
through
make
all
out
of
those roadways.
this,
With that said, if you're in the area, don't go out and try to look at the fires because they are.
God
people
wanted
stay
you
off
to
the road,
trust
but those
Him.
who need to or want to evacuate, and those
God
who are trying to fight
wants
the fires
you
can get
to
where they're
trust
going. But,
Him.
you can see we've got
So,
fighting by air. We've got fighting on the ground underway. Northern California sent some resources down to the southern part of the state, knowing that we would see.
protect yourself.
Critical and extreme fire danger remains through the day tomorrow. Stay alert.
That's what I'm getting. You was wrongly persecuted. So you need to trust yourself. You need to trust God and protect yourself. Oh, this is heavy as I don't know what. Okay. I'm getting out of this energy right now, Virgo. But Virgo, protect yourself, okay?
Swim with elephants. Wait, can we afford a safari? Great question. Like everything, takes a little planning. Or put the money towards a down payment.
On a ranch
In Montana.
with horses.
Let's take a look at those scenarios.
JP Morgan Wealth Management has advisors in Chase branches and tools like Wealth Plan to help keep you on track. When you're planning for it all, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Yeah, protect yourself.
I couldn't get my hair done.
Because this also could have been an
Four times higher risk for psoriatic arthritis. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them.
You may have
serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections
died
Tell your
from a
doctor if you have
disease
symptoms like fevers, sweats,
that
chills,
your
muscle aches, or
ex
cough. Have a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory
had
bowel
put
symptoms
on
develop
you.
or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Find relief that can last. Ask your
He may have went to a high priest or a high priestess to have a sick spell put on you, Virgo. And you died of a disease. And also this single father or female, whoever, this single parent, you know, this is another version of it, you know, because I'm doing it for more than one person. This single parent was hunted down.
The hearing aids with no doctor visit, no prescription, and no hassle. I got fitted right over the phone.
Because
I never had a better pair of hearing aids. I'm even wearing them right now.
Call now and get 2
they
rechargeable
thought
hearing
that
aids for just
you were doing
$297
witchcraft.
with a free portable charging case and free shipping. The rechargeable Neo is nearly invisible with its tiny in-the-ear canal design, and you can get 2 rechargeable Neo hearing aids with a 45-day risk-free trial, free shipping, and free lifetime US-based support for only $297.
Call my friends at MD Hearing and get the
yeah, so
that I use for you.
Virgo, your karma is to depend on God. And in this life, I feel like you are being accused of witchcraft. In this life, I feel like you are being accused of witchcraft. Your lesson is to not listen to that bullshit. You know you're not doing that witchcraft. You know you're not doing it. Don't pay that shit no mind. Put it in God's hands. Tell him what's going on with you and these people, and ask God to shut their asses up. That's all you gotta do, Virgo.
Nearly 3,000 acres. It's at 2,900 acres. Nearly 4 million people live in the Los Angeles metro, now under a state of emergency. And so officials say, hey, be prepared. There could be more evacuations.
So I'm going to get with other signs later. This is really, really, really going deep for me. So Virgo, keep your head up to God. Don't listen to nobody. You know you're not doing witchcraft. You know you're not trying to hurt nobody. Just, you know, keep doing you and don't listen to nobody. You know, look to God and depend on Him to help you with whatever you may need. But don't listen to them naysayers saying that you are a witch or whatever. Okay? So, Virgo, y'all have a blessed night. I love y'all. And now I'll get back to some more past lives later.
Very dry.
Maybe I will start with Virgo. Maybe I will start with Taurus. This takes a whole lot of energy. I gotta really, really have to take my time. So I'll holler at y'all later. I love y'all. Bye-bye.